If you spend around $200 a month on gas, and the average American driver spends right around that, there's a very real chance, just because of a handful of driving habits that most people never think about, never got taught, and never had any reason to question.
The U.S.
Department of Energy has studied this in depth, and the numbers are genuinely surprising. Simple changes in how you drive. Nothing exotic. Nothing that requires any equipment or any money can improve your fuel economy by more than 10%, and in many real-world cases, significantly more than that. What the data says, what's actually happening inside your engine, and exactly how to fix each one. Just the actual science of how your car burns fuel and how to make it burn less of it. Let's start with the biggest one, because this single habit has more impact on your gas mileage than almost anything else combined on this entire list. Aggressive driving. According to research conducted by Oak Ridge National Laboratory and published through the U.S. Department of Energy, aggressive driving can lower your gas mileage by 10% to 40%. Read those numbers again, because they're worth sitting with. Is actually delivering closer to 25 or 26 miles per gallon in the real world. That's a gallon of fuel wasted for every 25 to 30 miles you drive. Multiply that over a week of commuting, and the number becomes very real, very fast. And in city traffic, where the losses can reach 40%, the situation is even more dramatic. When you accelerate, your engine burns fuel to generate kinetic energy, the energy of motion that pushes your car forward. When you hit the brakes, that kinetic energy doesn't get stored. It doesn't go back into the tank. In a conventional gasoline vehicle, it converts entirely into heat inside your brake pads and rotors, and it disappears. Got momentary forward motion, then threw the energy away, as heat when you braked. The more aggressively you cycle through acceleration and braking, the more of this waste happens on every single trip. The fix is a technique that experienced drivers and commercial fleet operators have used for decades. Anticipation. 300, 400, 500 feet up the road. Watch the traffic lights in the distance. Notice when brake lights start appearing 4 or 5 cars ahead. When you can see that traffic is slowing or a light is red well in advance, simply lift your foot off the accelerator early and let the car decelerate naturally. Coasting to a stop instead of braking hard means you've allowed your car's momentum to do the work. In many cases, traffic will clear or the light will change before you even reach it, and you've maintained forward progress without burning extra fuel to do it. This one habit shift from reactive driving to anticipatory driving. Professional, eco-driving training programs produce in fleet vehicles. The second habit is highway speed. According to fueleconomy.gov, maintained by the Department of Energy and the EPA, every 5 miles per hour you drive above 50 miles per hour is roughly equivalent to paying an additional 20 to 27 cents per gallon for gasoline at current prices. That means if you're cruising at 75 miles per hour instead of 60 miles per hour, you're effectively paying 60 to 80 cents more per gallon for every gallon you burn at that speed. As your vehicle moves through air, the resistance it encounters increases with the square of its speed. Double your speed, and drag increases by a factor of 4. This is also why vehicle shape matters so much for highway fuel economy. A blunt, upright SUV experiences far more drag than a low run is one of the most effective and completely free fuel-saving decisions you can make on any given trip. That leads directly into habit number 3. Using cruise control consistently on highway driving. You ease off slightly on a long uphill without realizing it, then accelerate back up when it levels out. Every one of these small and unconscious speed variations costs fuel, because every acceleration, even a small one, requires extra fuel injection. It's not a dramatic improvement on a single trip, but for drivers who do regular highway commutes or frequent road trips. Habit number 4 is tire pressure, and this is simultaneously the easiest thing to fix on this list, and one of the most consistently neglected. Tire pressure drops naturally over time regardless of whether you have any leaks. Tires lose approximately 1 psi per month just through the normal permeability of rubber. This means that if you haven't checked your tire pressure since last summer and temperatures have dropped 40 degrees, your tires may be 5 to 8 psi below the recommended spec without looking noticeably flat. At that point, the tire's contact patch is deforming significantly more with each rotation, creating meaningfully higher rolling resistance. Your engine is working harder to maintain the same speed, and you're burning more fuel every mile to cover the same distance. According to the Department of Energy, that may sound modest, but consider the math on a driver spending $200 per month on fuel. 3% is $6 a month, $1.72 a year, saved by spending 5 minutes once a month with a $5 tire gauge, which is different from the manufacturer's recommended operating pressure for your vehicle. Check your tires when they're cold, meaning before you've driven more than a mile. Because driving heats the air inside the tire, and temporarily raises the pressure reading. The heavier your vehicle is, the more energy it takes to accelerate it from a stop, and the more fuel your engine burns to do it. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, every extra 100 pounds in your vehicle reduces fuel economy by approximately 1%. In smaller, lighter vehicles, the impact per 100 pounds is even greater. Sports equipment from a season that ended, multiple cases of water rolling around in the trunk, a 50-pound bag of salt that you meant to take inside, a set of golf clubs that's been back there for 2 months. It is genuinely common for drivers to be hauling 150 to 200 pounds of stuff they have no current need for. Spend 15 minutes cleaning out your trunk and backseat. Everything else that's been living in there out of inertia should come out. And while we're talking about weight and aerodynamics in the same breath, if you have a roof cargo carrier or crossbars on your roof rack that you're not actively using, take them off. A large... That's not the box loaded with gear. That's the empty box just sitting up there creating drag. Even empty crossbars on a roof rack create measurable aerodynamic resistance at highway speeds. That single habit can make a noticeable difference in your highway fuel economy. Habit number 6 is idling. And this one has a direct cost that is easy to calculate and consistently underestimated, depending on engine displacement and whether the air conditioner is running. For every minute your engine runs while the car is sitting still, you're spending money for 0 forward progress and 0 miles on your odometer. Think about how many minutes of unnecessary idling accumulate over the course of a typical day. Sitting in a drive-through line for 8 minutes, waiting in a school pickup line for 10 minutes, warming up the car in the driveway for 5 minutes in the morning, sitting in a parking lot with the engine running while you finish a phone call. It adds up to real money across a year, and none of it is getting you anywhere. Modern fuel-injected engines, which covers every passenger vehicle built in America. The engine management computer handles cold start enrichment automatically, and the most efficient way to warm a modern engine is to drive it gently for the first few minutes. Start the engine, give it 20 to 30 seconds. If you're parked and will be stationary for more than about 60 seconds, and it's safe and practical to do so. Turning the engine off saves fuel. Many new vehicles now include an automatic stop-start system that does exactly this. At traffic lights cuts the engine when you're stopped, and restarts it the instant you lift your foot off the brake. If you've been manually disabling the system because the brief restart feels unfamiliar, you're working against engineering that was specifically designed to reduce your fuel consumption. Habit number 7 is air conditioning. At lower speeds, generally below 45 to 50 miles per hour, the air conditioner, compressor, which is belt-driven directly off your engine, adds meaningful load that increases fuel consumption. At those speeds, the aerodynamic drag penalty from open windows is relatively small. So rolling down the windows and turning off the AC in tolerable temperatures is the more fuel-efficient choice. When your windows are open at 60 or 70 miles per hour, the practical takeaway is this. In city driving at lower speeds in weather that isn't extreme, windows down saves fuel. What this tells you, practically speaking, and how fast you're driving. The 8th and final habit is fuel type, and this one requires a clear or direct answer because there's a lot of confusion around it. If your owner's manual specifies regular fuel, and that's what's printed on the fuel door, using premium 91 or 93 octane gasoline in that car provides no benefit. Efficiency, or engine protection. If your owner's manual says premium required, particularly common in turbocharged engines, high compression engines, and most European vehicles, that specification matters and shouldn't be ignored to save a few dollars per fill-up. This protective adjustment reduces both power output and fuel efficiency. The irony is that in a premium required vehicle, using regular gas to save money at the pump may actually reduce your fuel economy enough that the per mile fuel cost difference is smaller than it appears. And you're also running the engine in a degraded state that it wasn't designed for. The specification exists for a reason, and it's based on how your specific engine was engineered and tuned. Clearly that fuel-efficient driving techniques can improve your fuel economy by more than 10% overall. Oak Ridge National. Which means that for a driver whose current habits involve consistent aggressive acceleration, highway speeds above 70 miles per hour, underinflated tires, a heavy trunk, and frequent unnecessary idling, the combined improvement from addressing all of these habits simultaneously could be substantially larger than 10%. And every dollar of that comes back into your pocket without spending a single cent on parts, products, or services. Do this for a full month before making any changes. Get a baseline that reflects your actual current driving habits. Then start applying these habits, one at a time. Apply speed management and cruise control consistently on highway drives in week 3. By the end of a month of deliberate changes and consistent tracking, you'll have real data from your own vehicle showing exactly what you've gained. This is genuinely one of the most practical topics in all of vehicle ownership, because the savings are real. The source data is from the US government's own research institutions, and implementing it costs nothing. If this video gave you something useful, hit the like button. It helps this channel reach more drivers who could benefit from this information. And which of these 8 habits you're going to work on first? I read every single comment. And if you want more honest, data-backed automotive information without any product to sell you, and without any exaggeration, subscribe to this channel.